There's a better
there's a good one. Oh, big snook.
Nice.
When you can replicate something once, you're thinking, okay, maybe I'm onto something. Then you replicate it again, you're thinking, let's try it one more time over here. And like maybe the third or fourth time that you're able to kind of put together what you're trying, you're thinking, okay, this is no accident. I think we've figured something out.
There's one. Oh, look at him go. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah! Come on, come on. Oh,
He ate it. He ate it. He ate it.
nice, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I thought you said you
I
had to.
got him. Relax.
Oh, dude, he just ripped my boat off. Oh, awesome. Look at that big boy. Woo.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, with Captain Tom Rowland and Captain Rich Tudor.
Man, I think there could be all the way down that shoreline, don't you?
Yeah.
Looks beautiful. Seen a lot, you know, as we're coming into these spots today, not under the bushes where you might think they would be, but out a little further.
Yeah, they're out feeding.
That's good. I like that. I hope they are feeding on chartreuse and white minnows about 6 inches long.
So we had a great day out there, you know, just kind of bouncing around, checking new spots and just, you know, exploring, searching out, you know, these little deep pockets where tarpon, you know, first we were looking for tarpon, got up early that morning, you know, it was a little windy, so we had to find some sheltered water, but we had a pretty good tide situation and a nice morning to, you know, find a few rolling tarpon.
The tarpon, you know, is always a good target first thing in the morning because, you know, as you know, obviously they are somewhat of a nocturnal fish. They like to feed at night. They will go and be at their calmest in the morning, I think. It's been quiet. Nobody's been bothering them all night. You pull into one of these spots and they're just rolling and showing themselves. And it's a great opportunity to try to catch one.
There he is. Oh, that's awesome. He's gonna jump right here. Come on, baby. What an awesome bite, Tom, right off the top of the water.
Very cool.
Totally cool.
And it was just beautiful, man. The light was right. You know, we were out of the wind. Those fish are just doing their thing in there. And it's kind of fun to go in there and see if you can catch one because they're not always that easy to catch. Nice fish, man.
Dude, that was awesome. Man, I love early morning baby tarpon stuff.
Maybe my favorite, although I say that about whatever we're catching.
Key element to that kind of fishing is the really light braided line, you know, thin enough to where you can just cast it a mile with something super light. I put on that 10-pound J braid, which was nice because it was stiff enough to where it wasn't getting tangled, but you know, thin enough to where you could really cast something light a long ways and just could throw that far enough into the wind to get it out in front of that little tarpon. You roll, throw it out there, kind of come over there, and you just crushed it off the top, man. That was an awesome bite.
Oh, yeah. They proportionally get so far out of the water. The cool thing here, man, is you know, we just find that little pattern that we know where find a little deep pocket and edge of a island or edge of the whatever, have that deep spot. That's like the key.
But we were using 7-foot rod with a Daiwa 3000 reel, which was a perfect little combo for that because we're throwing nothing but a soft plastic bait and a hook. That's it. So you want a rod that has got a fast tip, lightweight, and that you can make the cast that you need to make, get that bait right in front of them, and they were ready to play ball when they saw it.
Super light tackle. That's fun. Real fun.
And that guy is just perfectly hooked on the side of the mouth. We're gonna just let you go real quick, buddy. Slow down. Right there. Gonna barely even touch him. There we go.
That's awesome. That was a cool bite.
That is just a beautiful fish. He looks like he's never even been touched. Think he's got a friend out there?
Yeah, but that's about right, man. On this light rod, that's all I want. That's good, perfect size. All right, sweet.
Good way to start the day right there. what I like about the little tarpon is that they show you where they are, and then you need to make a good cast. And if you do it right, you have a really good chance of getting a bite. If you do it wrong, you're probably not going to show them the bait. And in a situation like that, like you say, they're in there to feed. So what you have to do is get it to where they can see it and get it to where they discover it rather than you just showing it to them real fast.
Oh, what a bite.
That was so awesome.
What a bite.
That was so awesome.
I don't even think he knows he's hooked yet.
I'm pretty sure he knows something's not right.
Man,
God,
what a
that was
bite.
so cool. And that was really the first shot I've had today that I really felt like I put it in the right place and he was gonna see it just right. And man, did he ever. It's like, yeah, I've been waiting for this all night.
Dude, he greyhound out of the water while he ate it, right?
Yes.
That was incredible.
And
I mean,
he knows something's not right, but he's not sure what it is. Wow, here he goes. Now he's figuring it out.
oh, there he goes.
Hook just pulled.
Huh. That was cool. That was a big one.
That was really cool.
That was good. Nice bite,
Yeah.
man. Wow.
There's
Oh,
better
there's
one.
a good one. Oh, big snook.
Nice.
That's what we've been waiting for.
It's definitely a whole different class of fish right there.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you in part by Hawks Cay Resort, the only key you'll need. LOWRANCE, America's #1 fish finder. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Yeti, built for the wild. And by Hook, Power Pole, St. Croix Rods, and Vibe.
One of the things that keeps so many people interested in the little tarpon is that those moments are fleeting. You know, as the sun comes up further, they start to go under the bushes or go wherever they go. They're not doing the same thing that they were doing earlier, that's for sure. And it's pretty much over. So we got to come up with our next plan. You know, you were kind of like, you know, we got this chip and it's got these incredible photographs in there on the GPS, which is really nice because something like Google Earth or whatever, you really need reception on your phone all the time. But that chip, Florida Marine Tracks, it is on the GPS all the time. So now you can go in there and look at these aerial photos, and it's particularly important in the Everglades where we were going that day because the water isn't always really clear. It opens this whole world of exploration that you haven't had before.
I was excited. I mean, you know, I remember back in the days when we were scouting for tournaments and things like that, just that incredible feeling of exploration and excitement to go check out what's around the next corner, see what you haven't seen. You know, honestly, I have kind of lost that over the years. You know, getting that chip and looking at it both with not only the satellite overlays right there, you know, in such detail that you're looking at these islands that you're like, wow, there's places that I, you know, fished around, but well, I didn't know there was a deep hole in that corner. There's got to be fish there.
Little bitty snook. Good way to start. Very light bite though, man. Just barely.
All right, tarpon, got a snook.
Yep, got the tarpon and the snook.
Oh, he needs a redfish, we'll have a slam.
Decided to run back and explore the Everglades, and as we're running back there, we're kind of picking out, you know, islands we wanted to try to fish, and looking at the, you know, really that's what it was. It's trying to go to spots we really haven't fished before. And as we ran back in there, the tide was pretty darn low when we got there, which was interesting. We always talk about, you know, different fish like different water levels. And when we got to the first spot, we were, you know, the water was low and we were catching them right away, man. Small snook and small redfish, one after the other.
This guy looks fresh and clean. He's never been touched before. Man, the fishing has been so good this year.
Each day, it seems like the fish will bite a little bit differently. Maybe if they're super aggressive, they're just hammering it and you feel it and there's no mistaking it whatsoever. This day, it was incredibly soft. It was almost like I was coming across grass and I would just take that one turn on the reel and the rod would just kind of you know, I would just feel a little bit extra weight. It wasn't like a hit at all. And I was just really amazed. All the fish were all biting that same way, and you could set the hook. It would have been incredibly easy to miss that bite.
Didn't even really feel him, just like that one, exactly like that. A redfish, all right, that completes the deal.
Wow.
Now we got our work cut out for us. We got to go find a bonefish and a permit.
Hey man, backcountry slam. That's pretty cool. That's neat, man. There's a lot of these little reds that have showed up here recently.
Yeah?
It's awesome. We'd had a pretty lackluster redfish in the last couple of years, but this year a massive crop of them this size have moved in, so it's going to be good news for the
That is
next
good
couple of
news.
years.
Oops.
Now, how long do you think it takes one that size to get to be a legal slot fish or whatever?
A redfish, I don't think it takes that long, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know much about it, but it just seems like this is a fish, you know, that eats. Whoa, he was ready to go. That eats a lot,
Yeah.
you know.
Once that tide got too low, you know, you could kind of see the progress there. And this is where I talk about the different water levels, especially in that Everglades area. You know, it's all about water level, and there's so many different, you know, whether it's a pothole, it goes from this deep to that deep. Well, that deep can hold a snook or a redfish or whatever. You know, I mean, just the difference in a few inches is the fish can be there or not. And then I think it just got too low for that spot, and it was time to move. And really, at that point, you know, we were waiting for that tide to switch and come back in. And we were on a big full moon tide, so that water was going to come in within a matter of hours. 3 feet of elevation was going to come in out of the Gulf. So that's a great opportunity for us to fish if we're in the right spot at the right time. And looking at that chip, we were able to, you know, look at an island and see that deep trough and realize, okay, that's going to be the first spot that these fish are going to get to.
There's
a good one. Oh, big snook.
Nice.
That's what we've been waiting for.
Dude, this guy's gonna go in the bushes now. That's definitely a whole different class of fish right there.
This is right where that deep spot is we saw on the chart, Tom. Dude, that was awesome.
Good fish right here. This is one that we
Oh,
count.
that's a
We
stud.
count this one towards the backcountry slam, not that other one I caught.
That's a nice one, man.
Grab him.
That is a nice one.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, sir. It's like one we caught with Ryan Nitz.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Compared to the other ones we caught today.
Cool.
That's good. Nice work, man.
Man, he's perfect too.
Right on this deep edge where we saw on the chart. And you couldn't tell. I mean, look around, man. I can't even tell if it's, you know, what the depth of the water is.
Can't tell at all.
Seeing that chart was really helpful.
Right on.
Yeah.
Again.
There you go.
What a soft bite.
That's a big fish. Oh,
What a
yeah.
soft, incredibly soft
Man.
bite.
I gotta switch over to your artificial.
On that spot, you know, we were able to get to the edge of it. It was kind of some dead trees, and the tide was flowing through this little area, and I just kept looking at this spot thinking there was certainly a good feeding station right in between. So I just kept working that area right in between, and sure enough, man, just where I thought a big fish might sit, the best one of the day was sitting right there.
You're out.
Robert Collins right there. I always think about what he told me about snook fishing. You know, he's one of the better snook fishermen I've ever been able to talk to, and he's like, most people snook fish too fast.
Yep.
That's most people's mistake. When I started fishing slower, ooh, it's up in his gill. When he started fishing slower, I started catching more and getting more confidence in it because I just don't fish for them like you do up here.
Nice.
But it's the slow steady, man.
That is impressive, man. Well, you definitely got the touch today.
You know, we really found that pattern. Caught 2 or 3 fish there, and then, you know, as that water was rising rapidly coming in and out of the Gulf, you know, it was kind of over. I think those fish had then moved up, you know, way into the trees there, and then so it was time to move. And we look at the chart. All right, where's the next spot? I knew that this island over here was a little shallower shoreline, and ooh, here's this deep, deep pocket. You know, that's going to be the first spot that they come in off the flats and then stage in these holes. So we ran over to that area, pull up, and sure enough, man, first cast, snook on. He jumps up, I cast, first cast, boom, I got one. I mean, it was happening.
Good work.
That's some good fishing here. Look how far away from the island they are.
Look how much tide flow.
It's another one of those little ditches that you wouldn't ever know is here. Except looking at that chart.
Flow.
Grabbing for you. Hey, that's the color today.
Come here, Mr. Snook.
That's awesome, man. And it's so cool when you look at the chart and you can see that exactly where this hole is.
Yeah, that chart has made our day today. No doubt about it. So I'm sitting here in my brand new Yellowfin 24 CE. The electronics package that we have on this boat is the LOWRANCE HDS 16 units, which are a big improvement. They're faster, they have brighter screens, we could see them in the middle of the day, and they're obviously much bigger, 16-inch screen. But the one thing that I'm the most excited with, maybe ever, is the ability to run this mapping chip, Florida Marine Tracks. Florida Marine Tracks is definitely the most accurate, most incredible thing I've ever seen maybe on any boat, and I'll show you exactly how it works here. First of all, this whole mapping chip has overlays of aerial photos, and if we zoom in right here, we're sitting at the Worldwide Sportsman in Isla Mirada. We're actually sitting on the trailer getting ready to put in, and if you look here, you can see how incredibly accurate this is. These are the docks right here with all the boats right behind us. This is Worldwide Sportsman. Here's the overseas highway right here. There you can see cars, you can see leaves on trees, you can see everything. And this data goes well out into anywhere we would want to fish. The Florida Marine Tracks is really revolutionary in a lot of ways. First of all, you could just have that incredible mapping, which for me is enough. But what they've done is they have gone out and they have actually run all of these things, all of these red lines that you see, which by the way you could turn on or off if you decided that you only wanted this for these incredible charts, that'd be fine. You can easily turn the red off, but you can go out and you can see all of these red lines. These are lines that have actually been run, safe ways to get basically to anywhere in the Florida Keys. Every running path in the Florida Keys has been run, and they didn't just run the Florida Keys. They have run every inch of Florida. So wherever you are in Florida, you can find safe running paths. Here's Lake Okeechobee, all that's run. Go right across the state of Florida if you want. Both sides, every little area has been run. You can turn the red lines on or off, and whether you choose to use them or not, these aerial photos are the most incredible things I've ever seen. Check out this chip from Florida Marine Tracks. I promise you it's going to blow you away.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you in part by Yellowfin, only in a Yellowfin. Mercury Marine, go boldly. MotorGuide. And by Daiwa, Ameritrail, Nikon, B&W Trailer Hitches, and Florida Marine Tracks.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching the show. You know, we'd like to get to know you better, carry on the conversation, and the best way to do that is follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. There's one.
There's one. Oh, look at him go. That's awesome.
This one's fat.
Dude.
This is a fat snook. It might be a fat snook. I don't know. You know how to tell the difference?
Yeah, I don't think we have too many of those. I don't know. Never really looked at them. Dude, this spot's packed. Wow. They're just stacked in this little trough. Wait.
There you go. I think he's ready for you now.
Talk about totally changing the game. You know, I've fished this island so many times, and I only fish it, you know, up under the bushes.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing that our friend Robert Collins showed us, among other people. Troy Pruitt, too. Fish slower and further away from the trees. Richard Black, same deal.
When you can replicate something once, you're thinking, okay, maybe I'm onto something. Then you replicate it again, you're thinking, let's try it one more time over here. And like maybe the third or fourth time that you're able to kind of put together what you're trying, you're thinking, okay, this is no accident. I think we figured something out. And the photos were a big part of that. To be able to go there and then that last spot that we hit, that was kind of the capper to me. It's like, we definitely figured this out, for that day anyway, that the fish are hanging way further off the trees. There's a reason why, and you go back and you look at that and you're like, oh, well, this is why. Because this picture was taken on a day when the water was really clear, and you can see that it's a sandy bottom and that it's a little deeper little area that kind of shallows out and kind of washes out. So obviously this is where they're gonna be.
Nice one, man.
Yeah.
Very healthy fish. Again, everything looks like it's in the best shape it could possibly be in.